When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station which the laws of nature and nature's God entitle them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute a new government, laying its foundation on such principles, organizing its powers in such form as them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. That is the beginning of our birth certificate. That is our birthday, July 4th, 1776. That is the Declaration of Independence. Now you read this, articulated by Thomas Jefferson and the American founders, is a theory and an understanding of natural rights in government. This is very simple, elementary stuff. Said differently, our rights come from God, not from government. It makes our country unique. What are natural rights? Natural rights are basic freedoms we are born with because we are human. The first of which is life, then liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You do not earn them, and no government gives them to you. They are built in. Where do they come from? They come from God, or at the very least, from nature's law. Government does not make them. They can only respect them or violate them. Let me say that again. Government does not make your rights. Government can only respect them or violate them. This is pretty non-controversial stuff, right? Now, I was in Asia last week. I was in South Korea and Japan, and I saw this story, and I made a note to myself, I got to talk about it next week. And yesterday was such a busy news day that we didn't have an opportunity to cover it. It is, without a doubt, one of the darkest, most chilling things I have heard a U.S. senator say. And we've heard some beauties. This is not just some sort of local college campus student. You know, people say all the time, Charlie, why do you debate these college kids all the time? First of all, they're adults, they're voters, it's seen by millions of people, all of that. But hold on. This is a U.S. senator that does not know as much as some of the college students that I will be dialoguing with tomorrow at Utah Valley University in Utah. This is Senator Tim Kaine. In one of the darkest pieces of tape that you will find, this is a U.S. senator who went to Harvard. So when I say that college is a scam, this is Exhibit A. He went to Harvard with a JD. Literally. He has a JD from Harvard. Tim Kaine is talking to Bobby Kennedy about some health thing. That whole hearing was a drive-by shooting that the Democrats tried to do against Bobby Kennedy. And the U.S. senator who supposedly pretends to be a devout Catholic. So we're talking about, where do rights come from? This is fundamental. What Tim Kaine has said, I hear often from a lot of these campus activists. You have to wonder how many Democrats also believe this. Everybody, what you're about to listen to is Exhibit A of evidence that the Democrat Party represents a country not called America. The Democrat Party, they believe in a country that is not this country. Tim Kaine, what he says here, if what he says is true, then what we are is no different than China. If what he says is true, we are no different than North Korean. Chinese people have rights. They are just granted or denied by their government. We are leading with this today because this is without a doubt one of the most important chilling clips ever. And it's not even about making fun of him. This shows that we are up against an existential parasitic force that does not even share our simple birth certificate. They have a different birth certificate for America, and it's not the Declaration of Independence. Here is Tim Kaine, play cut 342.
The notion that rights don't come from laws and don't come from the government but come from the Creator. That's what the Iranian government believes. It's a theocratic regime that bases its rule on Shia law and targets Sunnis, Baha'is, Jews, Christians, and other religious minorities. And they do it because they believe that they understand what natural rights are from their Creator. So the statement that our rights do not come from our laws or our governments is extremely troubling.
Woo. He believes the government gives you rights, that laws give you rights. That's why he's okay with aborting babies, because those humans have no rights because the government hasn't given those rights to him. That's why he's fine with mutilating kids and trans surgeries, because those kids have no rights because the government hasn't given those rights. Yeah, he's fine with potentially gulags because the government, there's nothing wrong with mass murdering people in gulags because the government didn't give those rights to them. The government decided not to give them those rights. And someone should ask Tim Kaine. Tim Kaine, we're not even going to use the Holocaust example because that one is overused. Was Mao wrong to mass murder millions of people? The government decided not to give those people rights. We believe in something transcendent above government that government appeals towards. Government's job is to protect our unalienable rights that we were born with, that every human being is born with. Our rights coming from God makes them inalienable because they are rooted in the equal God-given dignity shared by all human beings. This is an inarguable spiritual element to our nation. Some people say, oh, Tim Kaine is kind of dumb. Obviously he is. He went to Harvard, but that means absolutely nothing. But it's worse than that. He didn't come up with this. He is simply a mockingbird parroting something that is infected the Democrat Party. They don't think we have inalienable rights. They think there's nothing special about being a human being. If rights come from the government can take them away whenever they want. They can take away your right to speech, and yes, your right to life. They can drone strike you whenever you want. This is why America is unique. Let me repeat again. All men are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. This is why we are a refuge for liberty. The founders tied our freedom to something higher than politics. Tim Kaine acts as if our rights are like a driver's license. Driver's licenses can be given, suspended, or revoked. That's what government-given rights look like. Government-given rights are like driver's licenses. We believe that natural rights are your birthright. You don't apply for them. They're yours by birth. It's because you're human. If Tim Kaine is right, Stalin was justified, Hitler was justified, Mao was justified, Maduro is justified. Rights aren't favors from politicians. Government does not give you freedom. It protects the freedom you already have because you are a human being made in the image of God, and the natural law dictates that. If government can give them to you, can take them away, that's not freedom. These are not privileges. These are not preferences. There's something special about being a human being. And that is not just some local yokel. That's not just some sort of person on college campus. That is a U.S. senator who almost became vice president of the United States in 2016. That yammering fool was inches away. He was 40,000 votes away from becoming the vice president of the United States under Hillary Clinton. So this is an existential issue and a little window into what we're fighting against. This is more than just a difference of opinion. It's a difference of birthright. We'll be right back.